Hello again, it's Tanya with Tinkering and Ink with Tanya, and I am going to show you how I did these cards. I used the ghosting technique. I have done a video on that before, so that part hasn't really changed. But I think people really like to watch other people stamp. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to use the One Wild Ride stamp set. I did do this for a blog post for Stampin' Up! As part of the Artisan Design Team duties. And there were 4 cards. 2 of them, these are 2 of them. And I did a video for each technique or each card that I did. Let's get started with this one. So we're going to use a thick Whisper White card base. Some glossy cardstock. This is 3 3/4 by 5, and a piece of crumb cake that is 3 7/8 by 5 3/8, and a scrap of Whisper White, and we're going to use some vellum. So to start off, we're going to stamp the motorcycle in. Let's get a block the right size. Versamark. And I'm going to use a different colorway this time. On this one, it's Flirty Flamingo, Peekaboo Peach, and Daffodil Delight. And this one, I believe, is Dapper Denim, Emerald Envy, and the new Lemon Lime Twist. Fun colors. This time, we're going to use Cajun Craze, Calypso Coral, and Peekaboo Peach. And hopefully this doesn't turn out horrible, because I did not test this first. Alright, let's get stamping. I'm just going to put some scratch paper down, and we're going to ink up with the Versamark. Okay, let's stamp one here. And I know you probably can't see it because I can barely see it, but I'm just going to stagger. Not too much wiggle, because remember, this is glossy cardstock. It will shift. Kind of sticks to the paper. I'm just adding a little more there. Okay, you do not have to wait for the Versamark to dry. We're going to start with our middle tone first, and that'll be the Calypso Coral. So, I'm going to start a little bit off the page. We're going to go down the middle. Oops, let's get that all the way on the screen. Now the Versamark resists the ink without any special prep. You don't have to use the embossing buddy. You don't have to wait for the Versamark to dry. Just looks awesome. I think I want a good generous coat on there. You can always go back and add more. Let's do some of the Cajun Craze. And you are going to get inky. I couldn't find my Cajun Craze sponge, so I had to get a new one. It's not primed, so to speak, so I really have to get it good and inky. There are so many techniques you can do with this glossy cardstock. This is just one of many. Loving that. Okay. And then some Peekaboo Peach. Yes, my sponge says Peach Parfait, but it's a peachy color. So I'm just using this for the Peekaboo Peach. Look at that. It's even more impressive. Okay, maybe you need to let the Versamark dry a little bit, but I don't think you do. I didn't with the other cards. Maybe it's just more humid today. Let's do a little more Calypso Coral in the middle here. Blend it into the other colors. Look at that. That's even more sunrisey, I think. Okay. Let's try. Just because I can't leave well enough alone. Seems to be brightening that up a little bit. Pushing the color back a little bit. Okay. Then we're going to take the badge image. We're going to stamp that in Early Espresso on a scrap of Whisper White thick cardstock. Love that stuff. Get it nicely inked up. And I'm going to stamp it towards the bottom because I need to fit it in the punch. And I need a little handle. There we go. Love coordinating punches. Try not to get too much reflection here. Gonna line that up in here. One of my tricks for this is to take a piece of scratch paper and a smidge of adhesive, just a smidge, and stick it to the back so you have a handle for your punch. Otherwise it can be really tough to line that up. Okay, just about. There we go. That's what you're left with. Toss. Okay, and then I think I'm going to just do an oval. Vellum stitched oval. There we go. On this one. So I've already got the stitched oval die. I guess I really probably didn't need one that big, but we're going to use that one. Okay. Putting my big shot up there always makes everything go kitty-wumpus. Okay. Can you see the stitch details in that? There we go. Awesome, right? That'll look pretty cool on that card base, or on that card. All right, next step. Let's get the card base. I already scored it with my scoreboard. This is a Whisper White card base. I don't know about you, but I always have one edge that's a little longer than the other. And that would be this one. So that's going to be the front of our card. We'll open that up. And then we're going to do this faded sponged thing here. So I inked up with the Peekaboo Peach, and then we're going to sponge on some Calypso Coral. And then we'll sponge on a little bit of the Cajun Craze. On the bottom of that image. Then stamp it in the center of the card. Like it? I do. Alright, let that dry a little bit before I try to attach everything. Okay, let's put this together. I'm going to use a little fast fuse on the back of this photo paper. As I mentioned before, this photo paper takes adhesive very well. Sorry, not photo paper, it's glossy cardstock. You're going to love this stuff. Okay, a little more fast fuse. Whoop. This stuff is pretty handy. I used liquid glue for ages, but I like that this does not cause warping on your card. And the liquid glue, no matter how fabulous it is, it does cause warping. Okay, let's line this up. I think my other cards were a little smaller on their panels, but that's okay. All right. I think that looks pretty good, just like that. So we need some dimensionals. I don't know about you, but it's finally warming up. Yesterday, I wore shorts. Yay! I think, nah. I was going to raise that up on dimensionals too, but I think that would be a mistake. Get that nice and straight. And then we're going to trim off this extra vellum and the card will be all done. There. All right, what do you think? 3 different color groups. And so fun. This was the Eastern medallions and layering circles to make this doily back here. And this is a circle stitched die. So a few different treatments there too. Let me know which one's your favorite, and I would love to see what you create. Talk to you later.